We ready for the jury then? Okay. We're ready for the jury. Sorry. All right. All right. All right, you may continue. Thank you.
Does this also look like one of the clips taken from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this appear to be one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And would you agree with me that the quality is also grainy as it appears in this video?
Yes.
As far as you know, does the date and time stamp look accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And do you recognize the people in this video?
Yes.
And who are they?
Amber, Rocky, and Whitney.
And move to 42. And does this appear to be one of the video cameras from ECB security footage?
Yes.
And does this appear to be one of the videos taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time stamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And if we could please, let's see, go to 11:32 and 11:35. Do you recognize this as a clip from 2016, one of the ones that was taken and preserved by ECB?
Yes.
And as far as you know, the date and time stamp, is it accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
Move to admit this as Exhibit 42, please, and let's move to Exhibit, 42, and move to Exhibit 43, please. Does this look like footage from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this appear to be one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB from since 2016?
Yes.
As far as you know, is the date and timestamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And can you tell me where this is, or do you remember where that was in the building?
That is the mezzanine vestibule between the building and the garage.
Okay. And if we could move to Exhibit 44, please. And does this look like one of the videos taken from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and timestamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And do you recognize who's in the photo? I mean, who's in the video?
It appears to be Amber and Trinity Esparza.
Trinity what?
Trinity Esparza.
And can you rewind that footage, please? And does Amber Heard have a sister?
Yes.
Do you know if that's Amber Heard's sister versus Amber Heard? Could you tell?
In this video, not 100% no.
And would you agree that the video is also a little bit fuzzy in this clip?
As it appears now, yeah, it's grainy.
And does this look like an accurate clip taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And if we could please move to Exhibit 46. As far as you know, did ECB preserve all the footage that Mr. Depp's attorneys and Amber's attorneys asked you to preserve?
Yes.
And did you, from your understanding, do you understand that the attorneys, some attorneys came and actually were involved in the selection process of videos, ECB in May of 2016?
Yes.
And moving to this exhibit 45, does this appear to be a video clip from one of the elevator surveillance cameras in ECB?
Yes.
And does this appear to be one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time stamps accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And I'd like to move to admit this as exhibit 45 or 46. And do you recognize the people in this?
It appears to be Amber and Rocky.
And would you agree that the footage is a little bit fuzzy?
Yes, as it's displayed now.
I'd like to move to admit that as exhibit 46 and move on to exhibit 47, please. And does this appear to be a video clip from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this appear to be one of the clips taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the time and date stamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
Would you agree that the video footage is a little bit fuzzy in this clip as well?
Yes, as it's displayed.
And let's see. And this looks like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016.
Yes.
And as far as you know, the date and time stamp look accurate within a few seconds.
Yes.
So I believe we're on exhibit 48. Does this appear to be a clip from one of the ECB video cameras?
Yes.
And does this appear to be one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, are the date and time stamps accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And do you recognize the woman who's about to get on the elevator, getting on?
Which it looks like Amber's waiting to get on. Rocky just came in, and Whitney's over in the corner. I don't know the other two.
Okay. And would you agree that this footage is also a little bit fuzzy?
Yes, as it's displayed now.
And that looks like an accurate clip from one of the ones that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016.
Yes.
If we could please pull up exhibit 49. Mr. Patterson, are you familiar with the layout at the penthouse level of Eastern Columbia building?
Yes.
And this is exhibit 49 that I'm showing you. And does this look like what you understand the layout to be of the penthouse 3 first level? Does this look to you like what your understanding is of the layout of penthouse 3, the first level?
Yes.
And if we could scroll down, please. Does that look like the layout of the second level of penthouse 3?
Yes.
Move to admit exhibit 49, please. And can we please move to exhibit 50? And could we zoom in a little bit, please? Mr. Patterson, do you recognize this as the layout of the penthouse level?
Nothing's labeled. Generally, I guess.
Does that look like the pool's in the right spot on that exhibit?
Yes.
And does from what you can tell, does everything else look as you would expect the layout to be in your familiarity with the layout in your experience?
Yes, generally.
Going back to the video clips, and we can walk. There's a couple I'm saving to the end to see if there's time. But for the ones that I've showed you, is your understanding that those are all accurate copies of ECB footage that were taken and preserved by ECB since 2015?
Yes.
And again, by taken by ECB, I mean by you or someone under your direction in the regular course of business. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
And is it correct that ECB has produced all of the video footage that had been subpoenaed by attorneys?
Yes, that's correct.
So to the extent that footage has not been produced, is it fair to say that footage no longer exists, or do you have another explanation?
Can you expand on that, please?
Sure. So my understanding is that you testified that there's 87 clips that have been preserved. Is that right?
Yes.
And that the date and timestamps are reasonably accurate to your knowledge on those?
Yes, to my knowledge.
To the extent that there are any missing days or times, is it fair to say that footage no longer exists? Or is there any other footage that could be produced?
Outside of the videos that were requested, that's correct. No, everything else would have been written over at this point.
Okay, so there's no other videos other than those that have been produced to your knowledge?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And I believe you testified that ECB currently has a new and improved video system. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
And back in 2016, would you agree with me that the video quality was somewhat grainy, as I believe that we've talked about in some of the clips?
Yes, compared to today's, yes.
And was it also a little bit fuzzy in the clips that we've reviewed today?
Yes, as they were displayed on the screen.
And is it correct that you did not see Amber in person yourself May 21st or the several days after?
I don't recall which day or days she came into the office, but I did see her on those two occasions. Outside of that, no, I didn't see her in person.
Okay. With that last answer, you don't recall which days you saw her, is that correct?
I don't remember the specific date of those interactions.
So would you be able to testify based on your knowledge whether Amber is wearing makeup the week of the 21st of 2016?
Not that I recall.
And if we could please go back, since we have a little bit of extra time, and watch the video that we couldn't hear the audio on. There's something wrong with it, but I believe the audio is fixed. So if we could please go back to Exhibit 3. Mr. Patterson, I believe you testified when we first saw this video without audio that you described Mr. Depp's behavior as animated. Is that right?
Yes.
Now that the audio is back, would you still describe Mr. Depp's behavior as animated?
Yeah, I think he's still animated, but with the audio, I would say upset about something.
And based on your the times we've seen Mr. Depp at ECB, have you seen him similarly upset in the building?
There was one video of Mr. Depp in the elevator. Seemed, like I said earlier, animated.
With the one you're referring to, is that the one where you said Mr. Depp was swaying side to side, or are you thinking of a different one?
Yes, when he was swaying side to side.
Do you know who Mr. Waldman is?
Yes.
Who is he?
Johnny Depp's attorney.
Did Mr. Waldman contact you about this case?
Yes.
What did Mr. Waldman want when he called you?
Can you clarify, just because there's been several cases. I don't recall which case Mr. Waldman was involved in. So I don't believe he's reached out regarding this particular one, to my knowledge.
Which are the other cases that you've been contacted by Mr. Waldman about?
I don't recall this specific one, but he did reach out to whichever one he was representing at that time, and I believe there's a subpoena that had followed.
And did you say that Mr. Waldman contacted you in 2 prior cases?
I don't recall which case it was in regard to.
And did you talk to Mr. Waldman on the phone?
I don't recall.
And did you communicate with Mr. Waldman by email?
Yes.
Did Mr. Waldman prepare a draft declaration for you?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that you cannot testify one way or another about whether Mr. Depp committed domestic violence against Amber?
I cannot.
If we could please turn to Exhibit 9. And does this look like a video camera from the ECB video footage?
This is where you want to stop.
Yeah, we're just gonna play it. We played it once before, just showing you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
And does this look like one taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time stamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
Can we please take that down and bring up 10? And does this look like a video from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And does the date and time within a few seconds look accurate as far as you know?
Yes.
And can we please take that down and bring up 16? And does this look like a video clip from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time stamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
Please, and we could take this down and bring up 17, please. Does this look like one of the video clips from the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB from 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time stamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
Can we please take it down and bring up 18? Does this look like a video clip from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB from 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time stamp accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
Could you please take it down and bring up 25? And does this look like a security camera footage from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, are the date and time stamps accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
If we could pull up 26. And does this look like a video from one of the ECB security cameras?
Yes.
And does this look like one of the clips that was taken and preserved by ECB since 2016?
Yes.
And as far as you know, is the date and time accurate within a few seconds?
Yes.
And just to confirm, that is your signature at the end of this document. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Did anyone assist you in drafting this declaration?
Yes.
And who was that person?
Mr. Waldman?
And did Mr. Waldman's assistance in drafting your declaration have any influence or effect on the truthfulness of your statements in your declaration?
No.
Is this a true and accurate copy of your first witness statement submitted in the UK action?
Yes, it appears to be.
Mr. Patterson, the statements contained in this first witness statement, are they truthful?
Yes, anything that I would have put on here and signed would have been truthful.
Did Mr. Depp ever offer you any money?
No, he did not.
Between May 21st, 2016, which I'll represent to you was a Saturday, and May 27th, 2016, which I will represent to you was a Friday, did you work on site at the Eastern Columbia building?
I don't recall if I was there those days. I'm typically there Monday through Friday, but I do not recall if I was there those days.
Sitting here today, do you have any recollection of interacting in person with Ms. Heard at any point between May 21st, 2016 and May 27th, 2016?
As I had previously mentioned, I don't recall specific dates of when Ms. Heard stopped by the office. I don't recall the specific dates.
Alejandro Romero was another person that spoke to you about his interactions with Ms. Heard?
That I'm not 100%. I don't recall exactly.
Was Cornelius Harrell one of the people that spoke to you about his interactions with Ms. Heard?
I also don't recall a specific interaction with Cornelius.
Do you recall when Mrs. Sparza first came to you about her observations of Ms. Heard?
I don't recall a specific interaction. I have a recollection of, I guess, Trinity stopping by, but I don't remember the exact interaction.
And are the statements contained in paragraphs 15 through 18 truthful?
As I review it, yes, that is my recollection of the occurrences.
What footage do you recall Ms. Esparza showing you?
I recall Mrs. Sparza showing me video of the mezzanine level where the multicolored area rug is, of Amber with her sister and Rocky, and one of them, from what I remember, fake punched Amber in the face, in which they all started laughing, and then they walked off screen.
You recall the date of that surveillance footage video that you just described?
I do not.
Do you recall whether it occurred after May 21, 2016?
I don't recall.
Mr. Patterson, does this, after reviewing paragraph 7 of your declaration that you signed under the penalty of perjury, does this refresh your recollection as to whether or not you observed the surveillance footage sometime around May 24th, 2016?
Yes.
Okay, let's go through the first interaction that you remember with Ms. Heard. Can you tell me what you remember about that interaction?
So Amber came in, shook her hand, and she told me the situation where she needed to have me make a statement to her sources at People Magazine.
Did Ms. Heard explain to you why she wanted you to speak to her source at People Magazine?
I don't remember I don't recall the exact ask, It was something to do with her getting ridiculed in the eye of the public opinion or something like that.
Please have Exhibit 3 pulled up. And for the record, it's date stamped Depp 3628. Mr. Patterson, does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in response to a subpoena in 2016?
Yes.
And was this clip recorded and kept in the regular course of business for Eastern Columbia Management? I misspoke. Let me rephrase. Was this clip recorded and kept in the regular course of business for Eastern Columbia Building?
Can you expand on that?
Yeah, let me rephrase it. This is surveillance footage. This is a clip of surveillance footage that was recorded for business purposes at ECB. Yes?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And it was kept or preserved by ECB, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Do you know which camera this particular clip was showing footage from? We can perhaps replay it because I believe it might indicate that.
Yeah, if we can pull it up again.
Do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
So this would have been the penthouse elevator.
And if we could please pull up Exhibit 4. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in response to a subpoena in 2016?
It appears to be. There's nothing going on right now, but yes.
And which camera is this showing footage from?
This is also the penthouse elevator.
If I could please have Exhibit 5 pulled up. And for the record, that's bait stamped Depp 3641. And does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be.
Do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This would also be the penthouse elevator.
And what is the date of this footage?
May 21st, 2016.
Okay. If you could please pull up Exhibit 6, bait stamped Depp 3648. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that you produced in 2016?
It appears so. I don't recall this exact time of this clip, but yes, it does appear so.
And is it, what is the date on this video clip?
May 21st, 2016.
And which camera is this showing footage from?
If we can wait for the doors to open. So this is also the penthouse elevator.
Mr. Patterson, I will show you next a video clip that's been fate stamped Depp 3610. It's Patterson Exhibit 7. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
Do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This is the front desk camera in the lobby.
Next, can we please have Exhibit 8 pulled up, which for the record is Depp 3620. Mr. Patterson, does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
Do you recognize who the person is that entered the elevator at 2256?
It appears to be Amber Heard.
Can I please have Exhibit 9 pulled up? Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
Do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This is also the penthouse elevator.
Can I please have Exhibit 10 pulled up? And for the record, this is bait stamped Depp 3607. Does this appear to be video clip of a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
Do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This is also the penthouse elevator.
And what date is depicted?
May 25th, 2016.
Next, can I have please Exhibit 12, which for the record is bait stamp Depp 3572? Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This is the front desk lobby camera,
And what is the date of this video clip?
May 25th, 2016.
And if we could please go to, really, if I could ask for your help, 1345. I'm going to mark this exhibit as Patterson Exhibit 12. Do you recognize the woman at the desk, walking to the desk?
Yes, it looks like Amber Heard is approaching Trinity as far as they're working at the desk.
Can I have Exhibit 13 pulled up, please? And for the record, it's date stamped Depp 3583. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This would also be the penthouse elevator.
And what is the date of this video clip?
May 25th, 2016.
Do you recognize the woman in the black shirt just outside the elevator?
Yes, Amber Heard.
So is this one of the video clips that represents a true and accurate copy of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And what is the date of this video clip?
May 25th, 2016.
And what camera angle, or excuse me, what camera is this showing footage from?
This is the mezzanine camera between the building and the parking garage.
Is that camera 4?
According to the stamp, yes.
Thank you. If you could please mark that as Exhibit 14. Turning to Patterson Exhibit 15, bait stamped Depp 3569. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And what is the date of this video?
May 25th, 2016.
And which camera is this showing footage from?
This is camera 7, lobby camera.
And does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And what is the date of this video?
May 24th, 2016.
And what camera is this showing footage from?
This is camera number 6, which is the kiosk camera outside on Broadway.
Thank you. And can we please mark this security clip as Patterson Exhibit 16? Next, can I please have Patterson Exhibit 17, Depp 3594? Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And what camera is this showing footage from?
This is camera number 8, Broadway, outside of the permanent building.
What is the date of this video?
May 24th, 2016.
Thank you. If we could please mark this security clip as Patterson Exhibit 17. Almost done. Turning to video clip that has been bait stamped Depp 3609, Patterson Exhibit 18. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And do you know which camera this is showing footage from?
This is camera 4, which is the service hallway.
And what date is depicted in the security clip?
May 22nd, 2016.
Thank you. Can we please mark this video clip as Patterson Exhibit 18? Next, Patterson Exhibit 19, Depp 3611. Does this video clip represent a true and accurate copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016?
Yes, it appears to be so.
And what camera is this showing footage from?
This is camera 13, mezzanine level,
And what is the date on this video clip?
May 22nd, 2016.
Thank you. Can we please mark the security clip as Patterson Exhibit 19? Turning to Patterson Exhibit 20, which for the record is date stamped Depp 3612. This is one of the video clips that represents a true and correct copy of one of the original clips that was produced in 2016.
Yes, it appears to be so.
And what camera is this showing footage from?
This is the garage camera number 2,
And what is the date of this video clip?
May 22nd, 2016.
Thank you. Can we please mark the security clip as Patterson Exhibit 20? And do you know what camera this is showing footage from?
This is parking garage camera number 14,
And what is the date on this video clip?
May 22nd, 2016.
Thank you. Can we please mark this security clip as Patterson Exhibit 21? Mr. Patterson, I believe you previously testified, or counsel informed you, that there were 87 video clips that were produced in response to a subpoena in 2016. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
And all 87 video clips, to the best of your recollection as the person most knowledgeable for action property management, were those 87 video clips recorded and kept or preserved in the regular course of business for Eastern Columbia Building?
Yes.
And were those clips collected, preserved, and produced near the time of the actual events recorded in the clips?
Yes, it would have been within that 20 to 30 day timeline.
Right. And it was the regular practice of the Eastern Columbia Building to record security footage similar to what is reflected in these clips that you've been shown today, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Mr. Patterson, I believe you testified earlier that you commented on revisions to Mr. Waldman's draft declaration. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And I would like you to read, please, the comment, the third comment down, which says, "Was this footage found? I'm not certain of the date or time. I also do not recall who she was with, but it was 2 females. I do not recall who threw the pretend punch. I also do not recall if she had any signs of injury during this time. However, I do recall one of the females pretending to punch Amber in the face." Now, did you write this comment? Do you remember it?
I do recall vaguely.
And this footage never was found. Is that correct? Your knowledge?
The footage was never requested.
By whom?
Any of the attorneys.
So the footage, if it was, is it your testimony that this exists, this footage exists or not?
It would no longer exist.
And it would no longer exist, and it was never produced as one of the 87 clips? Is that right?
That is correct.
And I believe you testified earlier that attorneys for both sides selected times and looked through video and made selections of what to preserve. Was that your testimony?
Yes, that's correct.
But nobody selected that footage? To your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And it was never produced?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And is it correct that you do not recall at that time whether Amber had any signs of injury?
At this moment, no, I do not recall.
And according to that comment, you did not recall at that time. Is that your understanding?
I don't recall.
And you don't know the date or the time of that footage?
Don't recall, and obviously I could read this, but I don't recall offhand.
And you didn't recall at the time either. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. That completes testimony, correct? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your extra time tonight. I just wanted to get through that witness tonight so we could start with a new witness tomorrow, okay? So have a good evening. Again, don't do any outside research. Don't talk to anybody about the case. Probably stay off social media. I would appreciate it, okay? And we'll see you in the morning at 10 a.m., okay? Thank you. Okay, well, I know 6 weeks sound like a lot of time, but it's only 24 days and we've already done 3 days. So you have 21 days left. You know, stipulations is one of my favorite words, so you might want to consider looking back through all the evidence that you have and stipulate on a lot of information, because I promised this jury would be done by Memorial Day weekend, and we will be done by Memorial Day weekend. So when your time is up, your time is up. My law clerk, Sammy, is tracking everybody's time, how much time has been used by each side. So he'll keep doing that throughout the trial, and we'll let you know on a weekly basis how it's going. But if things don't speed up in the deposition, you're just not going to get through this. So I want you to keep that in mind, okay? All right. Any remote witnesses tomorrow? If we need to set that up? No. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. Have a good evening. We'll see you at 10 o'clock. Okay. Thank you.